Well, with me now is Naasu Fofanah, who is the founder of an organization that's helping to fight for women's rights, as well as Julia, and she is from an NGO, Julia Lalla-Maharajh, and from an NGO that is helping to eradicate this whole thing. Now, obviously, Naasu, let's start with you, because you're from Sierra Leone. You said you've undergone female genital mutilation yourself. Your oldest daughter has done this, your youngest has not. And we heard there from Tulip's report about how it's not just the men who want this from their women, it's the women themselves who see this as a culturally entrenched part of their society. This is an initiation into womanhood. So can you explain to us why this is, a little bit of that context?
Thank you very much. Indeed, like you rightly said, I have gone through the process. In Sierra Leone, we actually call it female circumcision. It is embedded within the rites of passage of the Bondo Society, which is a process of initiation rites from girlhood to womanhood. And yes, my oldest had gone through that at a younger age, and my youngest, who doesn't have the same socio-cultural reasons of undergoing the practice, haven't gone. This particular society, called the Bondo Society in Sierra Leone, predates colonialism, and it's a very strong society that actually has political clout and very useful in actually promoting women's rights. The ethos of the Bondo Society is actually to train women into adulthood. So before now, when actually the age of consent was basically looking at puberty. Right. So when you get your period, you go through the practice. But I would like to say that the Bondo Society has been very proactive ever since they understood that the age of children has actually gone up to 18. They have worked very closely with the government of Sierra Leone to ensure, and in fact they have a memorandum of understanding with the government of Sierra Leone now not to initiate girls below the age of 18.
It's interesting that at 18 they are still given the choice, though, to undergo this. But let's turn to you now, Julia, part of an NGO, as I said earlier, working to eradicate this. We know that some governments have banned this, but others, it continues to happen. So obviously this is incredibly challenging, as we heard from Naasu. This has been going on for centuries. So how do you get rid of a practice that's so entrenched in a culture?
You're completely right. It's been going on for millennia. It predates both Christianity and Islam. But the amazing news is, as your report said, change is happening. And it's not really change through legislation, important as that is. It's change at the community level. What we've seen through our work is that enough communities are now beginning to see other communities choosing to stop cutting their daughters. That's done through education at a community level, where the entire community, men, women, boys, girls, come together, learn about their human rights, learn about health rights. Often this is so shrouded in secrecy that people don't know about what's happening.
Right.
Often girls under the age of 5 are the ones being cut in most of the countries.
I mean, we talk about this being culturally entrenched and being an African problem, but it's much more beyond that, isn't it? It's in Asia as well, countries like Indonesia, where some 50% of the girls are supposedly have undergone this, Egypt and elsewhere.
That's absolutely right. We believe in 45 countries around the world, as well as in the diaspora countries too. So this is a global situation, and what we really need is not just leadership at the highest level from bodies like the UN. We need resourcing from governments, both north and south, but crucially this continuing work at the community level with the parents and the daughters and sons themselves, who are the next generation, who could be free from cutting.
Right. Well, thank you both for coming in and speaking to us, Naasu Fofanah and Julia Lalla-Maharajh. Thank you.
Thank you.